Where are you from? This is a question that I never really liked answering, but not for the reason that you're expecting. I think that during my time here, I've told most people that I'm from Texas, following up with Houston if they ask the follow-up. As you may have guessed, there wasn't exactly a trend of naming babies Ilya in Texas. The most specific answer to this question is that my family moved to the United States from Moscow when I was 4 years old, from which I only remember still frames of the city and the apartment we lived in. But why did I dislike answering that question? I wasn't ashamed of anything, and I closely identify with both of these places. It's not like I forgot this information. The answer was a lot more complicated than I expected, and it took me the past couple of years to truly understand why I did not like answering this question. In 4th grade, I transferred schools. A new school opened up near me that my mom really wanted me to attend, no matter what. I would begin as a 6th grader, skipping a grade. This school was truly in its infancy. I attended for about 5 years, and it was a very personal environment. My sophomore year, back when I was class of 2024, had just me and one other person making up the entire form. Just 2. I actually don't know where they went or where they are, so if you somehow find this recording, hi, I guess. That same year, my parents put me through the same process that my sister did of applying to boarding schools. And after getting rejected or waitlisted from every single one, I enrolled in the Hill School, fall of 2022. It felt like I came from another universe. This was one of my first times on the East Coast, and nothing was like it was back home. It got really cold. You have all 4 seasons, hurricane not being one of them. I would go to sleep with not just myself in the room. What is check-in? What is Wawa? Why does everybody hate New Jersey? Why are we banging spoons on the table during red meat dinner? To be honest, I still don't fully understand that one. But what shocked me the most was the people. It seemed that everyone had incredibly interesting stories, unreal experiences, and endless things that they could talk about. And it felt like all I could do was sit there and just listen. When people would ask me about my own experiences, it felt like my mind froze. Suddenly, even the question, "Where are you from?" became an impossible inquiry. That's the time that I started to just say Texas. One word, plain and simple. For some reason, a part of me wanted to stay hidden, not known to anyone except for those who knew me already. My whole life, I always attached the label introverted to myself and kept going, not thinking much of it. Even when I got back home, telling people that I went to a boarding school was something that I did not want to do. To put it this way, I'd rather run 10 miles all by myself than have to talk to the barber who was cutting my hair for 20 minutes. I didn't want to put myself out there because I was just afraid of what might happen if I did. But then I realized that this wasn't the case at all. One summer, something clicked in me. After a lifetime of keeping to myself, I decided to finally change and slowly started to peel away at the layer that was keeping me sheltered. Unfortunately, there was no easy way out, no easy trick that I learned. I just started speaking more, all the while feeling like I wasn't doing the right thing. This slowly turned into a confidence booster, but I found out all I was doing at its core was expressing appreciation for those around me. I trusted people more by showing them more vulnerability. I started caring for more people. I started remembering more and more birthdays, started texting first more. As a result, not only did I become more confident and build myself up, but maybe I was beginning to have a more positive impact on the people around me outside of my own feelings. Maybe all of this wasn't about being introverted. Maybe this wasn't a problem that I would always have. It was about putting yourself out there. I was too afraid to stir things up, to throw myself into new spaces, meet new people, and feel new feelings. But the truth is, these experiences, opportunities, and people only came about because I made myself do it. It was uncomfortable. Throwing myself into uncertainty was unsettling, mentally taxing, and something very easy to give up on, but it was worth it. I'm sure many of you do not have the same problem as I do, as I've met you, and you have been some of the most social, kind, and outgoing people that I have met in my 17 years. But I am sure of one thing. There is something in your life that needs attention now, and the only way to get through it is to put yourself in that uncomfortable and difficult position. Maybe it's a conversation that you've been putting off for too long. Maybe you're struggling with the one thing that you're supposed to be good at. Maybe you're just worried about your future. I do not know the solution that you're looking for, but I know that it's going to be found through putting yourself into places you've never been before. Say yes to change, say yes to vulnerability, and push forward. Create new memories, fill your contacts, and don't be afraid of failure. You'll find that you've done good for not only yourself, but for others. Looking back, from the classrooms in Houston with only one other person in them, to future lecture halls with 200 people in them, I can't say that it was easy to get here, but it definitely was rewarding. The process is not perfect, nor will it ever be, but I promise you that if you put yourself into discomfort with a positive mindset, you can achieve many of the things that you want. If you remember at least one thing from today, I want it to be this quote from Anthony Bourdain. If I'm an advocate for anything, it's to move, as far as you can, as much as you can, across the ocean or simply across the river. The extent in which you can walk in somebody else's shoes or at least eat their food, it's a plus for everybody. Open your mind, get off the couch, move. Thank you.